ago. I do believe we are live, so I'll say indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me again, for allowing me an opportunity to melt away enough layers of separation, of story, so that we can hopefully see what's underneath. Yeah, that's today's stream topic. The title is something like On Day 823 Melt More Remembered What to Do, what I am doing. I'm not exactly sure. Already spacing. Clearly, I don't know what I'm doing. But I do know that I'm here to melt away layers enough, at least to the point of remembering, seeing what is underneath all of the layers of separation. It's nice to have you friends here with me. Thank you for being a blessing. Joe Schmo here already, Doug Dad, and Sam and Shannon. I believe Lovazana as well. Let me see. I'm gonna open chat quickly. Skabam. And I'm gonna. Yeah, Lovazana. Sam is here too, sending you love. We got Blues in chat. Shelly here too. Good morning, lovers. It's nice to have you here too, dear friend. How are you doing, Shell? How's life been treating you? How has this experience of layering been to you? Right? Very much this experience of believing that you are separate from the rest of reality. Right? That's the primary story I'm trying to melt. The story of separation. Remember that piece of paper we lost? I found it again. And I wasn't planning on smoking today, but when I found this piece of paper, I was like, it's a sign. It's a sign I'm supposed to. Okay, joining us too, sending you lovins. I want to say thank you for you all. You helped me get my day on track. Thank you, dear friend. Thank you for being present. Thank you for showing up with us, for getting your day on track as we are doing ours as well. Esrog here too, sending you lovins. Duck Dad saying, well, look at this fantastic collection of humans right on time. Shows the value of the space. Dude. Stop reading my mind. Oh, you stop it. You stop it, Duck Dad. You stop reading my mind. I'm not sensitive. Sees this part of me that's like barely holding on. Today's like journal entry was actually about that as well. Let me see if I can get like a one liner from the journal, just to like to echo your sentiment. Uh, which one am I gonna read? I'll read the one I'm proud of, maybe. Yeah, I'm proud of my ability to bounce back and embrace the hopeful side of love, even when I feel a deep sense of sadness. My story is my own, and I will tell a story of love above all else. Those that show up for love will receive love. Those that don't will be welcomed back with love. I was like, yeah. Doesn't that feel nice? Doesn't that just feel on like a almost like a basic level of compassion, like the right answer? Nancy's here too, sending you love. And I'm gonna read that one again. Those that show up for love will receive love. Right? That's easy. That's clear. Oh, I show up for love in this world, and then because I showed up for love, the only thing I can receive is love. And those that don't will be welcomed back with love. Yeah. 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 So thank you, Brother Bear. It's so nice to welcome you back with love. You, you bring so much value into my life, into this space as well. It's nice having you. Joe Schmo tuning. Confession time. I'm falling deeper and deeper in love with this space. You humans make me smile inside my belly. Brother Bear, now I get to attach more fractals to the being that is you as well. So even more lovins. I see Jovan tuning in on this side. She might be at work, might not have access to the YouTube stream. Sending Jovan lovins. Thank you for joining me, friend. Thank you for the uptuters. I appreciate that. And yeah, again, love you, Joshma, so much. You said it, Doug Dad. Anyone else got a cat that ate The canary. Anyone else got a cat that ate the canary smile on? Are you like smirk smiling? What's happening right now on that side? Good evening again. Love to you, Nancy. It's nice having you. Let me see. I was telling Bubbles yesterday that Melt, we even treat bots lovingly. We're trying to. I'm not sure yesterday's people were bots. I think they might have just been friends. I think Nick Purr, right? I just think he has a lot of friends, or at least people that would be willing to do something for him. We gained a bunch of subscribers, bunch of the friends that Nick invited joined us as well. At least they were nice bots. There, Nick. Yeah, exactly, Shell. Exactly like that. Hey, there she is. Joy Vives here too, sending you lovin's, maybe in training. What? Peps? Estrog? Maybe in training. It's going over my head. Supreme Flash Vehicle. Maybe. Oh, okay. Melty sending the love to Jovan through the interwebs. To all of you. Thank you, friends. Right? Like, again, I want to like stress this again. What we're doing here, at least in my mind, is trying to melt away separation, right? The one thing that convinces us that we are ourselves, the one thing that our ego is kind of tasked to do, convince you that you are yourself. And not only are you yourself, but you are yourself wholly independent from everything else, right? And that can feel so lonely. It can cause you deep senses of despair. At least it does for me. And this connection, this ability to kind of tune in with you friends and see your names and see you ski wiggity swamp at work today, knowing, right, that even if you know you have to do work, you can still, for maybe just a moment, be present. We love you, Jovan. I'm gonna write the intention with that energy in mind. Melt. Yeah, we're just gonna go straight for it. We're gonna melt away separation. Oh yes. Mycorrhines. Melt. Bam. And then runes. There's like a half a day's rune. They got chopped off a little bit. So I'm going to make that a little pedestal for a flower. Yeah, we'll do a flower. Don't laugh at yourself, dude. That's rude. Oh. Okay. And then we'll do. Okay, we'll do this one. We'll do this one. And then on the other side, we'll do healing a little bit. Yeah. Since we're trying to heal our belief in separation, right? One more. I see. Okay. This one. This could be sicketh. Intention set. Magic locked and loaded. I think we were all Nick. I'm just imagining this whole, religion almost following around Nick now. Sweetie Swamp, again, love to you. Thank you, Jovan, for, taking even a moment to send us some love. Shell saying joy, Lois Joe, S, Sam, sending love as well. Thank you. 9:11 a.m. and Joy Vive is already biting. She is? I want to hug Joy Vive so much. I bite Joe. Oh, that doesn't sound like a bad thing. Biting, biting doesn't have to be a bad thing. Side note, if I don't offend anyone, oops. I don't think so, Joe. You have been nothing but loving. It's all super duper loving. Of course. Joy V, did you need a comma in there? I bite Joe versus I bite Joe. Maybe she just wants to bite Joe specifically. Maybe she knows exactly what she's saying. I just picture Jovan chained to a simple art desk where they make her draw beautiful pieces and they make her crumble it into a garbage can and start over. Yep, that's her whole job. That's all she does. Accurate assumption. Oh goodness. Just like this corporate turmoil, torture even. Be like, yeah. Make art so that we can criticize it and throw it away. Nick, there he is. We were just talking about you a little bit earlier, Nick. We were mentioning how loving you are, dear friend. It's nice having you here. Sending you love. Healing our belief in separation. Yes, exactly. Thank you. Melting it away. Thank you for apologizing. Pretty accurate assumption. Our place is the tribe. Our place in the tribe is permanent. Exactly. Nothing will take it away from you. You can take yourself away from it, but it can't be taken away from you. How about that? Hello. Yes, I'm back. And back you are, dear friend. Back we all are. Here again. Today's stream topic is about melting away our belief in separation, right? That it's obvious, at least conceptually, mentally, that me and you are separate in this moment, right? Because I am embodied and you are embodied. I am reaching out towards a screen that is in your hand on a stand on your desk right now, right? Oh, yeah, Mel, look at this person so separate on the other side of the world. And yet, this experience would not exist if we weren't creating it, right? Unifying in this moment, melting together, becoming melt more in this moment, right? And not only that, but also to the extreme of my experience wouldn't be the way that it is, my life wouldn't be what it is, if not for you friends in it, right? Literally. Quite literally. You friends are making this moment what it is. And I thank you for that. Sending you so much love. One time a day, when her corporate overlords leave for lunch, Jovan sneaks one piece out of the trash, lovingly soothes it out, gives it a hug, and brings it home. Here is saved art collection. I kind of like that. I'm just imagining, this anthropomorphized piece of art, crying its eyes out, laying in a piece of trash. Ah, will never be seen by human eyes. I so desperately just wanted to be seen by the world, but no. And then Jovan rescues it. Please do, Jovan. Like, I would highly encourage you. I don't know if you're allowed to do that. There might be some non-disclosure agreements or stuff like that, I guess. Ah, damn it! I just stopped myself in my own tracks. If there is artwork that you would be able to share that doesn't get to be seen by the people that it was meant to be seen by, we would like to see it. Even if it's something basic, right? Like a logo for a random company and they're like, no, this sucks. I would still like to see it. Susanna's here too. Scanning, 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 scanning. There she is, Susanna. Sorry, I think I missed your name. Lovin's to you, friend. Sending you good vibes too. Jarviv, I'm a bit unhinged at times, and I apologize because I understand how rough I can be when I'm just flowing through my thoughts. I have a lot of work to do when it comes to being more gentle. Me too, brother bear. Me too, dude. It is a weird balance, right? Because enthusiasm and excitement for the things that we have in our hearts in the moment, I feel shouldn't be something that we should call. But other people can become uncomfortable. So I feel rather than trying to change yourself, find the people that resonate and will accept you for that, right? And I feel like we are that. Like the experience you shared with us yesterday, we had a Sangha, and Brother Joe joined us there as well. And the way he showed up was and continues to be in my mind beautiful. We love you, dude. If it's melt on the inside, I'm just gonna write separation on the outside. Separation. I was running out of space a little bit at the end there. Joe, stop describing my mind and actions perfectly. Joe, wouldn't have it any other way. There we go. More lovin's. Thank you. I said I would paint more little Burbies today. I finished Hogwarts Legacy, so I guess I need to art now. I'm proud of you for getting back into it. Susanna, how was Hogwarts Legacy? Did you enjoy it? You think you would recommend other people play it as well? Did you get all of the naughty spells? Did you Avada Kedavra creatures to instant death? Yeah, I'm hip. I know games. I totally didn't like watch one YouTube video about it or anything. No, I also know games. Love you. Oh, let me see. Just, I'm proud of you, Zana. Thank you for embracing your art again. Right, it wasn't gone, but now it will be in this moment. Finally, I'm looking forward to seeing if you'll be willing to share your little birdies. Joe, may I ask on the subject of being more sensitive, is Florida man a hurtful stereotype? If there was ever a Florida man, Joe is Florida man. But Joe is like the epitome of Florida man. Like Florida man in a weird way is a superpower. But Joe is powerful enough to have that superpower under control. Right. At least that's the way I saw Joe yesterday. Like, do let us know. I don't feel Joe is the I get offended about someone saying something type of person. I might be wrong. Now it's the time for creation. There we go. I think Sam was playing that game too, Zano. Yes, I was. It was a fun ride. I'm excited for the DLC to come out. I'm happy that they're actually making DLCs. Apparently, it's pretty well received. There we go. Susanna, I just saw the coolest red and brown finch on my feeder as you typed that. So cool. Burbies becoming summoned, even, if you will. We only have brown finches over here. Cool, you get color ones. I wonder. I wonder if that is like because of the urbanization. I don't know exactly the space you live in, but I kind of makes me sad that there's only one type of bird. Like not for the actual looking of its side, but just for the sounds. Like a bunch of different birds have a bunch of different sounds, and then the more sounds there are, the more things there are. Sam, nah. I identify with a lot of the things that people describe as Florida man. It's more hurtful to hear people talk about national pride or genetic pride, folks, and have issues than I can. I don't get offended easily. You see. I've seen only parts of Brother Joe Schmo, but it is a pleasure to be able to see the good in that man's fractal. The love. I'm a happy dancer and critter. Yeah. Good. If Joe is Florida man, even more reason for me to hang with Joe. If Jaju could just be straight stereotype of all humans in general, I'd imagine there'd be lots of happy aliens. All of us are the aliens. Literally, right? Like we are in a way apart from nature. Is that a Candace I see? Sending you love it. Thank you for joining us, friends. Nice having you here. How are you doing? Right? That we are a part of nature. And in a weird way, that this kind of connects to today's stream topic, the story of separation and melting it away. The reason we're so convinced of the story of separation is because we have made it our reality, right? For the longest time, we were quite literally living off the land, right? Like we had to go and scavenge for our food, and we would die if we couldn't find what we needed to eat from our earth. These days, we quite literally buy our, most of our food from grocery stores. It is pre-hunted for us, if you will. And that quite literally is a separation, right? It's an extra step, an extra few steps in between you and where you get your food. And that's just one of them, right? One of the fractals of why we have become so convinced of our own separateness in this world. How did I get here? How did I get here? I live in a city, but in a house in a residential neighborhood. Okay. I agree with Melty. Florida man is possession of incredible chaotic powers. Yeah, exactly, Sam. It's just a power that is, if not checked, it can be used for nefarious reasons. We have lots of beautiful hummingbirds. Fantastic. Do hummingbirds have songs? I think they do, but their songs are usually a little bit more high pitched, right? I took a picture of a birdie info board on my walk yesterday. I'm gonna do some of them. Also, a goldfinch and a kingfisher. Took a picture of a birdie info board on my walk. As in, the info board gives you information about what birds you'll potentially see on your walk. And then when you say, I'm gonna do some of them, I'm assuming you're gonna do the walks to see the birds. And then when you say also a goldfinch and a kingfisher, I'm assuming you saw those, Susanna. But I might be sitting the pot, miss. Do let me know. Love is being sent. Thank you, friends. Pre-hunted. Pre-hunted. Joy of you. Pre-hunted. My general outlook on life is equated to the view of domestic animal. I am happy and blessed and fed, and sometimes people scratch my belly. Life is good. In a weird way, we are, right? And some people take extreme offense to the fact that we have become, in part, domesticated human beings. We're not as, oh, you're gonna paint them. You're gonna, I'm stupid, Susanna. I'm actually stupid. Picture of the birdie info board. So she took a picture of the birdie info board so that she can paint the birds on the info board. I'm gonna do some of them. She's gonna paint some of them, and then she's also gonna paint the golden finch and kingfisher. I'm sorry. Yeah. Melting separation. Yeah, it just took me some time for my neurons to correctly wire into one another so I can understand what's being meant. Life is good. The only seen part of Joe Snow. The tree is just thriving on its side. Nature finds a way. It's like really doing well. It's like, I don't know if you can see around here, like the roots is like running underneath this completely to this, and then it just like popped out from the root system underneath the ground through the soil. Like it wants to live. It really wants to live. So we're gonna let it. It's like, oh yeah, look at that. Like it's still massive. It's still massive. Even though it's on its side, it's still freaking insanely huge. Definitely not conventional, but have we been conventional on these streams? Lol, you got it. Just took me a moment. Thank you, Zana, for being patient with me. Sending you lovin's. My cats like to make biscuits on my belly. My cats don't do that. My cats don't do that. Probably because I wouldn't let them. But I do talk to them, JV. My cats are very vocal. They'll just go into like these meowing fits, and then I meow back at them. And it really feels like they're trying to say things because they don't just meow the same. They make like different frequencies and different like, it's almost like there's questions in their meows. Hey Kreia, look at this handsome friend. Thank you for joining me. I don't know if you're still here, but sending you lovin's anyway. Signing up for Billy Scritches. I watched our neighbor's cow dance in the rain. Neighbors' cows dance in the rain, where they like jump around. Happy moo cows are truly in the now, and we can learn from them. Like the day that I really started considering how I'm supposed to be feeling about eating meat, and I still do, but I don't like it particularly, is because of watching baby cows. The way they chase one another around. Like they are so alive. They're so present in this world. Like absurdly so, even. It's beautiful. Fortunately, one of the things that I take solace in is that I'm Maxine, sending you love. It's nice having you. I take solace in the knowing that at least the cows that get to live on this farm aren't suffering, right? They get to be cows. They get to go and walk around. They get to eat grass. They get to drink water. They get to procreate. They get to grow old, at least to some point. And animals, for the longest time in nature, used to die pretty painful deaths, right? Right? Hunting, disease, old age, to the point of not being able to move or digest food, starving to death. Like that is nature's way of taking us out, unfortunately, at the end of our lives. So I would like to believe that our cows get to live good lives and then get to die quickly which in my mind means to me there is less suffering, right? Like if you think of it like an equation, like if you Bayesian reason about it, if you will, the percentage of suffering, the statistic of suffering is significantly less than the statistic of how well they lived. And then I get to eat that food. Pepe is chasing lizards. Do your cows dance? I mean, like what I think of as dancing is just when they kind of like do zoomies. But yeah, they very much do. As soon as the chat loads, I see jumping, telling people about running wild naked. Of course, cows rain dance. I need this fractal in my life, of course. Beautiful. Uh, I really don't like the term domesticated when I think about myself. It upwells a feeling of laziness in my spirit. I want to run buck naked in the fields and catch my food and sleep outside. But that's just me, born from the earth, not for the city. I hear where you're coming from, dude. I really do. But I think of it at the same time from this perspective of priorities, right? For the longest time, that used to be the way we lived. We used to have to survive day to day, have to, in your words, catch food and sleep outside, right? That used to be our responsibility, our priorities every single day. And in many ways, I feel our priorities have shifted. And I think of it from this perspective of completion, right? If we're trying to be a part of the infinity, of the everything, then we're going to have to transition and change, right? We're going to have to go from human beings that only barely survive day to day trying to find food to having an abundance of food to the point where we can literally eat ourselves into health detriment to finding balance within that fractal, right? Like our priorities as human beings these days are different, maybe even more difficult than the priorities of our ancestors. But I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. And I'm not personally advocating for going back to the way things were, right? Dying of sepsis doesn't sound like a vibe to me. I would rather I would rather have modern technology than live on the land as a native of the earth again, right? And partly because I believe I already got to. I already got to be a caveman. I survived, right? I survived long enough to be this version of me. And this version of me is like, yeah, this is better. this is this is better, definitely. We have taps in this world where the water comes from instead of having to walk miles to go and fetch it. Thank you. Watching a cow rain dance sounds like a vibe and a half. I saw cows yesterday too. How about that? More synchronicities. I put the stack of paper from the work or a computer with your emails pulled up. Either it will get smelled, chewed on, or stepped on. No worries of what the paper or the email contain. No care. Cats? I'm thinking. Rain dance. As soon as the chat loads, love is true. Do your cats dance? They all they want is food, sleep, water, and to procreate. I mean, they haven't really raised any complaints. At least that's the way I see it. Our cows seem to be pretty okay. They're like, yeah, moo and stuff. And then I'm gonna moo, and then I'm gonna walk around, and I'm gonna eat things, and then I'm gonna poop, and then I'll gonna eat more things. And then maybe I'll, procreate a little bit. And then I'll have a baby inside of me, and then I'll give birth, and then I'll raise this baby. I get to eat food, produce milk with my udders, feed this little creature that follows me around. And then it grows up to the point of eating food as well. And I get to be like, sick. See, you can do this thing as well. And then I get to live. That's like the lives I see of our cows. Our cows get to, at least in my mind, live normal lives. A cow's life. I explored the fractal of a bug's life and ants again today. I didn't watch the movies. I just thought about the fact that those were massive movies in my childhood. probably affected the way I see the world. Ray Dan is here, sending you lovin's, dude. So many good vibes to you. Thank you for joining me too, friend. How are you doing, Brother Bear? Only one. I just learned that all cows on our hilltops are municipal cows. My town's major put it into law. No hilltop houses, cows only. And this is phone company headquarters. How do you feel about that, Shell? That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Wow, that's wildly cool. They deserve the hill. We're all about that natural way, but man, going into Chicago and experiencing culture of all kinds is really, really welcoming from time to time. I think what we're trying to do, right? Again, the whole point of today's stream is to melt separation. Right? That includes the story of living on a farm is better than living in the city, or living in the city is better than on the farm. Living is good. And sometimes, more often than not, we're going to live differently. Just because some of us prefer to live in cities and some of us prefer to live in rural areas doesn't mean one or the other is necessarily right or wrong. It just means that at that point in time, that is what that person is experiencing, right? I was going to say need, but I don't know if that's the right word. I'll just say experiencing. And we can unequivocally have a loving experience, no matter what that experience is, right? At least that's what I believe the power of being a human is, that you can make a loving experience out of pretty much anything. I spent the day out with friends yesterday and I bought myself a bouquet of mums. Mums, a type of flower. I love having fresh spring flowers. Yeah, that sounds nice. Shell, where in the world do you live, roughly? Hill cows. I asked the woman I've been seeing for 6 weeks on Saturday for a relationship, and she said she's not ready. She's been dating one other person, but things haven't progressed with him. I asked her for instead exclusive dating without long term commitment. She said she wanted to think it over. What is Melt Fam's take? Dan, this is probably the wrong opinion, right? But maybe I can give you my wrong opinion, and then you can argue in yourself whether or not you want to take that as your truth as well, right? I would like to believe that if someone is going to be with you, they want to be, right? Unequivocally. Like the thought of not being with you should cause them distress. That's probably the wrong way, very much the wrong way to have someone love you. But I would like to believe that it shouldn't be a question, right? Your question of, do you want to be with me exclusively? If she loves you, that should be like a, yeah, that sounds good to me, right? But I also understand that uncertainty seems to be a very real part of our reality right now. I have taken a little bit of a break myself, dude. I don't know if I'm ready for a relationship, but you might be. Maybe this person who wants to be, that you've been seeing, doesn't want to be in a relationship right now. And I feel if she doesn't want to be, then that should be your answer, right? That there will be someone, like you're a great guy, Dan. I know you, dude. Like this sounds like a weird fractal, but you love your mom, oh. You love your mom, bro. You deserve someone that will love you the same. Wanted to think it over. Richard, that sounds like a tough spot, but if you had fun for the last 6 weeks, take what you have gained of and offer it to someone who reciprocates. You're a catch. There we go. Freaking Dr. shared the same sentiment. I feel you shouldn't settle for less than you want. I'm so happy that you friends are echoing these sentiments. How do you feel about it, dude? How do you feel about it? Sounds like she's giving another, but giving, sounds like she's giving on another potential mate. Don't spend too much energy worrying about what she's doing or thinking. Just accept the results. You threw your cards on the table. Now she has to open hers as well. I agree. Richard from Joe Schmo as well. All you do is to be honest and open and patient. Taking time to think is never a negative thing. Relationships are a heavy decision. I'm happy that Maxine is also sharing the other perspective. I agree. I've been like holding on to this joint, contemplating. Yes. What it would be like just smoking. I guess there's no time like the present. We're gonna melt separation. That's today's stream topic as well. How about that, Dan? Right? This is the joke that even the person she's with, even if that person isn't you, that person's still you, right? As awareness of being. So you don't have to be with her in order to be with her, right? And that sounds a little bit woo-woo escapisms or whatever. But if she doesn't want to be with you, she already is ultimately with herself, which is the same I that we all are. And let her be. Let her be. Chrysanthemums as the mums. Thank you. Weirdly enough, I knew a girl who used to call herself Savannah, who now calls herself Chrysanthemum. And I thought that was interesting. And the fact that you chose those flowers specifically brings back that fractal to me. Melting separation. Again, Maxine's sentiment of relationships being a serious thing. Right? It is a serious thing to no longer be separate entities and to consider yourself a unit, a partnership. We have gotten stuck in simulacrums of love these days. The stories depicted on movies, instead of being a representation of love, we consider it love. This experience you've been having with this person is a representation of love rather than you are that which is loving, ultimately. That which is loved, that which is lovable. I can't believe I know that. You're giving my profession, it just blew my mind. Love is true. Did I miss any of them? I think so. Goodness. Relations by every decision. Richard, melt your separation from the potential partners you have yet to meet. Move on. And if it hurts us, and let us give you comfort. I feel Dan, is in that space where he's probably tripping himself up more than any of the things that we can say he could. And I understand that. And that's the thing that bothers me more than anything, Brother Dan. That's what I'm feeling, dude. Is that it's one thing, right, to worry or not whether or not the person wants to be with us. You had to go out of your way, or you had to go and make yourself vulnerable. Confess your love to another person, knowing full well that they can turn around and not reciprocate it. And you still did that, though. You still did that. And that was hard. But I feel even harder than that is just being with the feelings of feeling like that is not a sure thing on the other side. Right? Like I feel stability or clarity is something that we value so much, but we don't actually realize it. Knowing clearly, like a fact, that another person loves you unequivocally, I believe, causes a certain sense of comfort in the mind, allows us to be a little bit more free in certain ways, giving us the potential for calm acceptance, trust. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for, right? You want to be able to trust, like trust unequivocally. And I, right off the bat, right, like the fact that she's seeing someone else right now as well, doesn't that cause a certain level of, can I trust this person? Right? Is this person going to go back to this other person they used to be with? Why do they not just commit to me when I clearly want to be with them? and things haven't been progressing with this other person. Question. What am I? That shit. That shit is the part that irks me the most about relationships. Like, that's the stuff I can't handle. Like, I can handle loving. I can handle, infatuation temporarily. I can handle the experience of the world melting and you and the other person being the only things that exist. But I can't handle wondering. Not about that. Like, I feel like that should be the one thing in your life that you're sure of. If you're gonna be sure of it, right? But I'm speaking on my ass right now. I don't know anything. I don't know nothing. I've only been in 2 relationships in my whole life. There we go. The sun was gonna fire my razor at my eyeballs very soon if I didn't move. Oh. It's still doing it, but not as directly. It's like peeking through the trees. Sick of. Let's get back to it. Where did I leave off? I think patience. Let me just see. I think that's not the right one. It's the one I've been trying to read. Yeah, having to weigh the compatibility over getting your heart broken as an adult should definitely be something to consider. It hurts worse as an adult, especially since it's like a sunk cost fallacy type of vibe. Is Bubbles here? Bubbles the lion is here, dude! We were talking about you earlier. I guess you felt the webs being pulled. It's like, what the hell is this? Consciousness knows about me right now, somewhere. It's nice having you, dude, sending you lovin's. We're getting deep into this fractal. Today's whole stream topic is about melting away the layers of separation to the point of getting to see what is underneath, right? And that energy has kind of transitioned us to talking about relationships, and specifically the dilemma of you telling a person that you want to be with them and they have to tell you that they'll think about it, right? And that, I haven't had an experience like that, so I'm sharing completely from my ignorance and personal misperception, probably. Do really, duck? Maybe they flew them in from somewhere else. I didn't know chrysanthemums were fall blooming. Maybe. I don't actually know that much about flowers myself. I should probably. No, I make digital ones. My flowers bloom all year round, every day. They can ceaselessly. All they need is electricity. They can eat sun and make flowers without having to have byproducts, which is not necessarily a good thing. Maybe it is a good thing that we get some oxygen as a byproduct from our little flowers. Richard, be patient and let her process that information. Honestly, though, if all you want to do is bang a shangle lang lang, you can pick up on that vibe. If you are genuinely interested in her, she will see. There we go. Joy, who knows? They are just one of the only flowers that can handle our temps, our fall temps. So we only see them here for that. I hear people have them in other ways and places. I mean, maybe some greenhousing type of effects, could be a way. Duck, I live at sea level. No basement here, dude. Flood warnings? Yeah. Richard, Mr. Shelley says he would start dating someone else ASAP. Richard? Mr. Shelley says, oh, like if that was his fractal if Shell was like, yeah, I'll think about it. I'm still seeing this other guy, and even though nothing has been working with him, and things aren't progressing, I'm still gonna think about it. He's like, yeah, twing. I'm imagining that meme of the dude going like, and then he disappears out of the frame. I love it. It's one of my favorites. Oh, I'm gonna. Man, one day I'll be able to highlight a comment. I'm gonna figure it out. I can't do it just yet. That was actually one of my requirements for a relationship. Gotta love your mama. Yeah, for me too, Susanna. For me too, in a weird way. I guess it's kind of old school. But I see my mom as a literal god who gave herself as a portal for my existence. A portal for consciousness to enter this realm of experience. And even though my mom has hurt me, right? Like all of ours probably have the capacity to. I know that she loves me and that she brought me into this world. And I get to love her for that, no matter what, forever and ever. Have you considered a wonky shank, Joe? In my future houses, I don't want a basement or attic. I feel in a weird way it causes a certain freedom to store things, right? In my mind, one of the things that I don't want to do the most is have excessive space where I keep things I don't use. That doesn't sit well with me. It viscerally bothers me actually just thinking about that. Like what do you mean? I'm taking up space, which people could live in, to keep things that I don't use. To keep things that I don't use so much that I need to keep it in a space where I never go, so that it's out of my way. And I have so much of it that I'll need a whole room for it. Like, or even 2 rooms. So many rooms. Oh goodness. Yeah. Just imagine if every single person on Earth right now went into their attics and gave away everything they like have excess of, in a way that could be like evenly distributed, right? Like imagining us being able to utilize our technology perfectly. You basically, with your camera, scan all of the things that you have excess of, and then on this network, every single person who needs something basically sends that into a prompt onto the web, and then those prompts get automatically filled to be as close as they possibly could be to one another. And then we have like super advanced drone systems that could come and pick things up from your place and take it to another. We would probably, if only all of those things fall into place, completely solve all of our needs globally, right? Think about that. Nobody would need for things as much anymore, at least not immediately. Like even if they get all of those things, it'll probably take them a week before they start buying new things. Damn it, humanity. Buying more things don't make happy. I've tried it. Like for me, the craziest fractal, the most expensive purchase I've ever made was on a high performance computer. Still consumer grade, but high performance. And it was an absurd amount of money to pay for something. And it's broken at this point. Like I sent a part of it in. I'm waiting for them to tell me what's up right now. So most expensive purchase of my life doesn't do anything for me. It's metaphorically standing in a room and doing nothing, right? I don't even know if it's metaphorically, like literally. And buying that computer was for a long time my idolized childhood dream of what wealth means, right? I remember as a kid, like in high school, I started playing Dota as a 14-year-old. Yeah. And like we would play on these like beat up old laptops at like the lowest possible settings. And you could play MOBAs at the lowest possible settings. Like that, HON, Heroes of New Earth, And there was a bunch of other ones. Like I didn't play too much League myself. Uh, like I'm running through all the fractals now. So I got into PC gaming, right? Played, my fair share of PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 as well, but I got into PC gaming. And PC gaming was like a whole other level for me. The control system I felt was more accurate, and that allowed me more immersiveness. I felt more in control of this experience that I was having. And it was at the same time that I, started watching content kind of related to that. And then the whole PC world, the pros, the uber glamorized, you need to get the best of the best technology to be the best of the best in this, world of gaming. It was alluring to me. And I would go onto these websites, these PC builder websites, and build these elaborate VCs and idolize. Like, oh man, it was going to be so amazing if I could buy myself this PC with top end specs and, run my games at 60 FPS. I remember so viscerally fantasizing, like this is going to fix all my problems. I'm going to be like on cloud nine forever. I'll be so happy always. And then I go to China and I actually earn enough money to buy myself something like that. And that's the first thing I do. I also did it with the mindset of, okay, I'm gonna buy myself this tool, and then this tool will allow me to create a YouTube channel. That was like my justification, to get my logical mind to actually tune in with the idea, to spend an absurd amount of money on a computer. And I started the YouTube channel. Here we are, right? But I didn't need that. And then when I got it, I went through this process of building it myself, and then it booted, right? After some headache, and it finally booted. And I went through the installation process, and I got into the home screen, like the user interface, and I sat there, and I was waiting for it. I was really waiting for the happy to come. I was like, okay, any moment now, the happy is gonna kick in hard. Maybe I should brace myself. And I waited. And nothing came. And I was like, maybe what I need to do is download Cyberpunk 2077 and then run it at the best possible settings. And then I did that. And I was like, wow, this is beautiful. We're happy. Where is this idolization? Where is all of this, fantasization of like what this experience is going to do for me? Where is it? Right now that I have this thing, and like that was like a painfully sobering reality, that the glorification of an idea, even of a person, right, to keep it relevant to where this conversation came from, the idolization of a person and believing that they're going to offer some sort of level of happiness in your life that is impossible for you to achieve by yourself is a lie, right? It is a separation. It is believing that you have to have some sort of stimulus in order to experience the love that you are, right? You are that which you seek, love. You would not be experiencing if not for love, right? On the logical sense, if you didn't love yourself enough to get up every morning, to drink enough water, to eat food, you would be dead right now and you wouldn't have this experience, all right? That's a little bit much, maybe. Then we can consider all of the past, society, the people helping in your upbringing, your teachers, your grandparents, your parents, your step parents, your aunts and aunties, your entire everything. If they didn't choose love over hate, you would be dead right now and not getting to experience this moment. So the fact of this moment, this awareness, is proof of love. And we're trying to melt away the layers that interrupt, that separates us from that truth, obscures our vision, paints a picture. Maya, the illusion. We've come far, friends. Our ability to reason these days and to use language in the way that we do, I think that's the thing that fascinates me the most, is that you friends understand what I'm saying right now, right? Isn't that amazing? I'm living in South Africa. I'm at the tip of Africa, right at the bottom of it. I'm broadcasting with ones and zeros something over a beautiful interconnected web, right? Like if you look at all of those lines, it's like a web sprawling over the earth. And then, even though all of those things are happening, you understand. We speak the same language, we're making the same sounds. Sure, these sounds fall in different little buckets, if you will, for you, fractals that you experience it through, but I feel that's what makes communication beautiful, is that you don't need to perfectly understand me to understand what this experience makes you feel. That you get to have something more unique than anyone else in the world, your experience. You don't have to prove it. I watched this comedian, May Matters? May Miller? Her name is May. And she did this bit about being adults and proclaiming that we have rooms, you know. Yeah, this is my room. And we get pretty particular about our rooms. Like we don't want people to enter our rooms. And we make our rooms a certain way and we have to clean our rooms. And then she transitioned into talking about how our brains is in a way our rooms. And the experiences that we have throughout our lives are like the things that we decorate our rooms with. And it's almost like we're trying to convince one another that we are unique and special, and that we are also a person, an individual. And then we take these little stories, these little layers, these little separations from that which you are, awareness of being, and then we're showing it to one another. And then someone will take out one of these stories and start telling you about it, right? Telling you about this party they went to last weekend and they had this conversation with this other person, right? Being like, yeah, look, I'm a person. And even though you're maybe there listening to their story, your mind actively is darting its eyes towards all of these little, stories you have in your mind. And this person is kind of activating that convinces you that you are also, in fact, a person. And you desperately want to share. Oh, yeah, look. And that's what I'm doing right now. Right? Layers of intricate separation, convincingly layered on top of you. Some of it feeling like blankets, keeping you warm and safe from the outside world. But some of them thick curtains, obscuring the light from outside and also obscuring yours coming from within. Melt away the separation. Easier said than done. I know. It's good to be reminded though, little by little. Let me see. I'm spacing. Oh man, okay, there we go. Richard, be patient. I think I've read that one. JV, who knows? The flowers and other places. Riches and Michelle was actually one of the requirements. Consider you Wonky Shack. Read that one as well. Eric. I think patience is the right choice, says Dan. If she's okay with exclusive dating, that's all right with me. I can catch feelings quick, and the ENTJ in me might just be a little too goal oriented. Hey Google, can you tell me about the ENTJ archetype? ENTJs are strategic leaders, motivated to organize change, strategically leading us towards the implementation of Swaggart and organizing the change necessary to realize that dream. They're quick to see inefficiency and to conceptualize new solutions. Inefficiencies with the processing, how quickly we get our Swaggart into the hands of the individual, and conceptualizing new solutions, individualized drones, that as soon as you drop your, Swaggart packet with a QR code and a camera sensor into the customized dustbin that has like a little slot, technically you can like have it extended and then it squeezes the last of the Swaggart out on your mouth. So you get every last drop and it scans, automatically deploying another drone to deliver a Swaggart packet back in your hand, and enjoy developing long-range plans to accomplish their vision. They excel at logical reasoning, and they're usually articulate and quick-witted. Which one am I again? Hey Google, which Myers-Briggs? Let me start over. Hey Google, which Myers-Briggs archetype is the protagonist? I remember the name, ENFJ. Hey Google, can you tell me about the ENFJ personality archetype? Let's see what they're trying to believe about us. ENFJs are strong extroverts and enjoy spending time with other people. You don't know me. Line of text knows me. Because of this, they are rarely lonely. ENFJs have great people skills and are often warm, affectionate, and supportive. You shut the fuck up. ENFJs are great at encouraging others and derive personal satisfaction from helping others. This makes me uncomfortable. Stop it. Fine. Myers-Briggs, maybe you knew a thing or two's. Maybe. I'll give it to you. I'm feeling you, Brother Bear. I'm feeling you, dude. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think you're being, mindful of what it is you need. Pay attention to what you believe is love, Brother Bear. That's the only thing I know. It's the only thing that I know is going to keep you happy if you choose it. Laughing Tiger, growing up with our basement in the Midwest, sucked diddity. It's refuge from tornado and cold. Yeah, that's also a big thing. Ultimately, she said she would like to keep dating, so perhaps patience. Thank you, Duck. I need to trust my gut more as well. I feel you, Brother Bear. I trust that you will. Trust your gut, dude. If your gut tells you, hey, I'm uncomfortable and I want a GTFO, then don't listen to yourself and suffer. Just be there and like, this makes me feel uncomfortable always. And then, you experience that discomfort for the rest of your life. And then you get to die not knowing what a better life would be like. I'm trying to like juxtaposition the Myers-Briggs, but you're like, what? Yeah, I just said that. You know what now? It's like, actually what you're doing is negatively motivating. By creating a negative picture, people can assume that they actually don't want that and pick the positive one. You don't know me. Stop it. I don't even know me. I'm exploring infinity. I need to trust my God. Doug, I have a few wonky walls already. It just needs a roof, but I don't want to use artificial sunlight when I have an abundance of natural sunlight. I'm geared up for new growth. I am kind of also pro using the sun as your light. Jana's INFJ. Let's see. Hey Google, can you tell me what the INFJ archetype is like? So, the campaigner. They are warm and connect with others, genuinely caring deeply for the feelings of those around them. They're sensitive to criticism and can flare up if their motives are questioned. They are also extremely private, preferring the world to see their most ideal image. How about that, Shan? Yeah. Brother Joe actually asked yesterday, why is Shan so quiet? How about that? I love that, Shan. It's crazy. These things are fractals of ourselves, right? It's like paint. It's like the story. It's like the separation that you identify with in this world in a weird way. Self and other, right? Like we benefit somehow by believing ourselves to be something and then everything else to be something else, right? It helps. It helps. But it also hurts sometimes because I have to consider, why is Pippi barking at something? And knowing that she's a part of me, she probably has a reason. Probably has a reason. Probably in her little mind makes sense to her to bark right now. Now we're part of your story, Richard, so we'll need updates. Joe, I feel you, dude. Craigslist, Windows are your friend when you bull time comes. Yeah, I have a pile of windows if you want to drive up. Thank you, dude. I'm going to be a dad for a bit. Love you, but the bear. I found out that Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader is a ENTJ as well, and now my life makes more sense. Right? Oh, man, these things are pretty in your face sometimes. Craigslist Windows, the name of the new alt bed. Richard, I move slowly, and I'm rarely late. I like to approach all good things with a casual pace rather than a definitive goal. Just walk up that hill, and then you get to the top. It was just a walk. I like that. Bubbles here saying, hey, Melty, trying to melt a little more today. I hope you did, Brother Bear. I hope this stream has been melty, right? The whole point of these streams is to melt your ego just enough. Just enough. It should get just thin enough because it's still going to be there. You can do it more. You can melt that ego into desolation, and there will be more ego. You'll sometimes come back stronger, come back with a freaking motive, come back with a vengeance to try and fuck you up. Sometimes that happens. But you can melt it again over and over and over and over again. And today's whole stream was melting that ego thin enough so that you can see what's underneath shining through your awareness of being. Feel it, Bubbles. Feel it. The bubble, dude. Yeah, the bubble. More layers. Imagining that we all have some internal hilltops that are just for our inner cows. And that is being true to ourselves and keeping a fertile mind where our best self frolics. You know, there are certain psychedelic fungal mushrooms that grow in cow patties as well. So I feel like in my mind, on these hilltops where the cows graze, there's also psychedelic mushrooms just like populating these hills. And I'm just like staring at. I don't even have to eat them. It's psychedelic just seeing them. I don't even have to eat them. I can just look at them from outside and be like, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sick. This is sick. These pastures. Not a foot race to potential disappointment. Like a Sadhguru bit where he was talking about this life kind of being constructed around competition right now. Right? How everything is a competition for some reason. And realizing that when it comes to a competition, usually there's some sort of goal or a thing you need to get to. The end of this competition, if it's to be seen as a competition, is dying. So why would you rush to finish this competition when rushing and trying to get it over with is just going to leave you with less life? Allow yourself to live. It's not a race to get somewhere. You're here, living right now, right? This is what we're here for ultimately. I miss seeing Bubbles' face and miss his energy. I miss seeing Bubbles, just watching him move with his glasses. And knowing full well that Bubbles is only, on this world partially, right? Like he has like a metaphorical toe dipped into this infinite ocean. but the rest of his essence being is like in the psychedelic realm of existence. That's the way I see bubbles. Please forgive me because I'm all AF, but what is ENTJ? So Joshmo, it's like this Myers-Briggs, 16 different personality types type of test. You run through a quiz, and based on the answers that you give, it changes weights and pulls you into a certain crystallization of the fractal that you take up in that little world. It is an interpretation, right? In the same way as astrology is an interpretation, but it can be a useful one, as both of them can be. A way to see yourself. It's a reflection. You get to look at yourself in the mirror and change things in this world as well. Not saying that you need to, but saying that you can, right? That even if you change things in the mirror, that doesn't change the thing that you actually are, your awareness of being again. Richard, don't let people treat you as an option either. It's hell, yeah. It's hell, yeah, or nothing. There we go. Do feel that way as well, but I do understand where some of us come from when it comes to actually loving a person, even if that means they love another as well. Right? Who are we to say? Kind of vibe. Do not consider yourself as less than anything but magnificent. Love is true. Joe. It's a Myers-Briggs personality reference. Thank you, Brother Dan, for telling as well. Basically says there are four main cognitive functions, and based on your preferred slash most repeated functions, you fall into one of 16 personality structures. Like anything else, it becomes less complicated the more you learn about it. Yeah, thank you for sharing that about the bear. It is a mirror, right? All of these ideas are like mirrors for us to look at ourselves, in my mind. As case? Oh. I'm a leader on that test, but I also heard that it was bogus. Ja. Werken. Lijkt mooi. Maar lijkt soos Jane. Nee, wiskunde juffrou is juffrou. Wat is haar naam? Mm-mm. Wie ander juffrou? Nee, Shame McNally. Huh? Nee, ook nie. Andrews bietjie. Maar meestal daai juffrou in laerskool het ek nie gelyk het nie. Liana. Sy is in my kop ingebrand as 'n slegte wiskunde juffrou. And yeah, a fly just started drowning himself in my water. Let me help you, little dude. Thank you. You all fill my cup. Sending you even more love, dude. We all have all of those traits, right? That is the other joke, Joe. That is the same thing with like astrology as well. It is sometimes a little bit vague and more often than not positive. So it creates this narrative where you want to kind of see yourself in one of these descriptions, right? Even like, for instance, if I had to go through reading the summed up definition of each and every single one of those 16 personality types, we would probably score 11 out of 16, out of traits that we feel we would associate with, because all of them are more likely than not to have some sort of positive spin as a mirror for you to see yourself in, right? And I believe if we can start to see ourselves more positively on a psychological level, on a real level, it might be bogus, but on a psychological level, it can help us choose a direction, right? I feel like a lot of us don't know where it is we're supposed to be going. And seeing ourselves, like even if it's in something like, oh, I'm a Taurus, right? And Taurus people are like strong-minded and sensitive to smells, right? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this is totally me. I don't understand this. I can see myself. I feel seen, right? It's that experience of feeling a little bit less lost in this world. Myers-Briggs is about identifying where you most consistently end up. It's not a hard rule, more of a guideline. I feel like that should be pretty much everything in this world. It's not necessarily a hard rule, more of a guideline. And there's many things that are, in a weird way, even the things that are hard rules can be seen as guidelines as well. Hey, conquer life. I like your username. I don't know about conquering life as much as I do about, befriending her, but I'm sending you love anyway. I can see the power behind why you would name yourself something like that. Sending you love. I am ENFJ. How about that? We have two INFJs, not ENFJs. Maxine is also one. Shannon. Coffee in my cup and melt on my TV. Life is good. Sending you double lovins. Joe, for example, the first function is extroverted versus introverted. Everyone is both in the right context. But people have a tendency towards one or the other. In that fractal, Brother Dan, I have a tendency to be more introverted than extroverted. Right? Technically, by hours, I spend a lot more of my time alone than I do socializing. But I feel when I socialize, I show up as an extrovert. Right? It's kind of counterintuitive. And in that way, all of us have within our infinity both of them, right? The duality becomes a unity. So this is Woman Laughing Tiger, Maxine, INF. INFJ is the most rare. How about that? And we have two of them, Dan. And we have you, Brother Bear. You friends are pretty rare individuals. High quality humans, as we like to say. Makes me feel more confused than before. I'm confused most of the time, Joe. Well, the way you say your mom was a living portal to life, thank you. My sister is about to give birth any day now. Love to you. Love to the baby coming into this world. It gives me so much hope that people are having children. Like having a child is such a proclamation to the universe that there is hope. Like people were having kids during the times of war, right? Like there were there were people getting murdered, running against one another, right? People versus people. You as a person with a gun in your hand, swap perspective. You as a person with a gun in your hand, swap perspective. My family is waiting for me back home, swap perspective. My family is waiting for me back home, swap perspective. Those people are trying to kill me, swap perspective. Those people are trying to kill me. And still, we could find reasons to love our children enough to, to have them, to raise them. All of us were children once. Hey, Christian. Of course, your name is that. My name is also technically Christian. Nice having you here, friend. Sending you love. Mm. I am a shot show mess and case study, according to most professional people I have spoken with. So I quit talking to those people. I'm pretty happy most of the time. Depression comes and goes. Joe, I think you have a positive mentality, dude, in a way that serves your individual life, right? You are very aware of the power of the story you tell yourself. And you're actively choosing to tell yourself a story of being calm and relaxed in this world. And I feel the people that want to see you as a case study, probably would do so at the benefit of the world. If we can teach more people to kind of realize how powerful the self story is and how you get to choose how things affect you, right? Like, beautiful quote. I can't remember who said it even. Haridas coming above us. One more? So, did they take it from me? They did, laughing still as they fly away. It's gone. What games did you play on PC, Melt? How long ago was it? Did you play RuneScape? No, never RuneScape. Skyrim? Yes. Diablo? No. WoW, no. Played some Guild Wars 2. Played some Dota. Played some Cyberpunk 2077. Played the whole of The Witcher 3. Loved it. That game changed the way I see games in many ways. What games did I really get into as well? I feel like that's almost it for me. It's like Dota and The Witcher 3 were the games that I really poured my soul into. Some Cyberpunk as well. I played some Rainbow Six Siege for a while, but I found myself more immersed in a story and a world. Like The Witcher 3 was like, for me, still is a benchmark of what a game is supposed to be. That game made me feel like I was actually helping people. Right? I would trip out and make up these stories in my mind for these people that I was helping. Right? Like, think about yourself living in a world. You're like a village peasant. You work the fields every single season just so that your family can survive. Like, you live with nothing in your little huts. Things are dry, right? Like, the floor is dry, the walls are dry. Everything is so dry. Oh goodness. And then there are actual monsters living amongst you. Actual monsters, ghosts, freaking creepy crawlies that live in the ground, massive spiders, and dragons, freaking dragons, wyverns, massive centipedes, enormous, like absurdly, disgustingly big centipedes. I hate those particularly. And then I'm this dude, this fucking genetically modified organism that is specifically bred to be as tough as nails so that it doesn't get killed by the things it's made to kill. And you have to be good at what you do, otherwise you die. And you like dodge, block, you freaking cast spells on yourself, fight things, survive, help these little villagers, and then you get paid. And then you get to move on, you get to upgrade your clothing, you get to look so sick, spiffed out. I really love games. That's why I can't allow myself to play them anymore. I get I get too I get either like I'm a all or nothing type of person. I'm all or nothing type of person. Like I get either completely obsessed or I don't. And I for some reason don't know if I want any leeway between those two extremes. It's like the coolest thing, and I'll do. I'm gonna try and be a little bit more present than love. I'll see if there's like something jumping out of me. One dude was extra loud about it and was kind of sending a wave of anger to the plane. I was flying alone and had to hide, head down as people threw shit. There was a riot on the plane when I landed because they had to reroute and were getting paid for transportation compensation. Everyone got so mad over something so simple. Oh goodness, Susanna. That feels like actual trauma. I'm so sorry you had to go through that. The plane rocked. I really freaked me out. The only thing that calmed me down was when they said they would compensate. I'm guessing, and then it all settled. It just got off the plane and bawled my eyes out. I'm, I'm like feeling two different ways about this, right? On the one side, the injustice of not being compensated when a plane was rerouted. Did I read that wrong? Something down. Yeah, people really like their plans, and in a weird way, they got some sort of compensation for that behavior, right? Like that's the thing that messes with my brain. It's like people were outraged, and then the people who outraged the people backtracked on what it is they said. And we're like, okay, yeah, maybe I should like check myself before I wreck myself. Just like maybe a little bit triggered by yelling is really something, Susanna. I hope to never find myself in that situation. Yeah, I would probably also not have a good time in that kind of situation. I would also probably just watch it unfold. That's the best advice I've been able to, find and give myself as well. Is when things get extremely chaotic in the outside world, unless you're in actual physical danger and there's something coming towards you, become extremely fascinated with the mystery of being. And like really being in be in a state of flabbergastedness. And do it. Like just be there. Like, oh, the fuck's happening right now? Why is this? Why is this happening? What is happening? Is this happening? Be there for it. Be like, yes, this is happening. I'm experiencing this right now. Not many get to. Melty, mortality is inevitable. What's the hurry? Exactly. Right? Why try to get to the finish line quickly? Luke, sending you love. It's nice to have you here. I'm for real going to stream at 1 p.m. Central today from the new grow room. So if you sick of looking at the dingy basement, you'll love the toasty pink shack. Hey Google, can you set a reminder for 1 p.m. Central Time in South African time? See if we can do that. Nah, this thing is like spacing out right now. Like, tag me, dude. If I see it, I'll come and join. It would be nice seeing you. For you friends that are here, Brother Duck Dad also does streams. He's manifesting chili plants into this universe. Just think about that. There's a person in this world with his time on this planet chooses to make things appear into this realm of existence. And they produce these berries. How about that? Did you know that chilies were technically berries? They produce these berries that have capsaicin in them. People get to spice their foods, add a little bit of kick. Thank you for what you do, Duck Dad. Thank you for sharing your world with us as well. Love you. I'm using duck instead of for the rest of my life. Do it, Joe. Do it. Like for me, Duck Dad has been in my mind almost like in the space of seeing his future branding. Jovan has beautifully shared like Pepper Papi and Pato Padre. And then Duck Dad, of course. Like all of them make me happy. With authority, eat the flies. It was a gift. Protein. Yeah. I have a question about Discord. How come when I post something in the share fractal, it disappears after I close it? That seems to be like some sort of network issue on my side as well, Susanna, where some of my chats won't even open at all. And then I have to try and do it again. I'll send messages and they disappear as well. I feel Discord seems to be unstable, at least in South Africa. I thought it was like a South Africa thing. I think it will get better, hopefully. Well, I guess we'll get to see. Y'all got the cool ass blue wrenches next to your names. What is that junk? I do want one, but but I be seeing them junks attract my favorite people's curiosity at Bloom. Let's see. I can exit here, and then I can do this, and then I can open this one. And then with this one open, I can go back here. And then if I'm in here, I can open this thing. And then I can, from here, click this. And then I can push this button. And then I can do that one. Let's see. Let's see if it happens in real time. Say something. Or say something. Whisper sweet nothings into my text box. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It is a wrench. The wrench is like a standard moderator. Pretty much is like a thing that I did one day, and then I realized that I feel you friends are like basically the the founders of these streams given the power of ability. Let's see. Let's see. I'll see within the next chat box if it actually is happening. Untitled. I was thinking about you two today. Actually, I'm sending you love-ins. How have you been? How have your stories of separation been feeling? Have they been convincing, or less so? Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. He made us all mods. Yeah, pretty much. It was an April Fool's jokes that stayed. Lol. He made us all mods. It was an April Fool's joke of myself, pretty much. And now I can't go back. And every single friend that I see in chat that's now not a mod, I get to April Fool's joke myself again. I thought naively that it was going to be completely invisible, even to me. But then I was wrong. What you said? I got freaking what you said, and yeah, I guess now it's gonna continue happening. It'll spread. The blue will come to the people that are here the most. You know, I think of it like line of defense, right? If you're willing to be here every day, then it means that this space is something that's important to you, which means that you would probably value it as much as I do, because you do value it as much as I do, right? So it's like a fractal. Interesting fractal. But it also creates the negative intent and like incentive, right? It's like the story. It's like, oh, I don't have blue next to my name or blue on my name. Is there something? Why am I not blue? Double D, double die. Double D, double. I don't know. I don't know how to, feel about anything either. It doesn't mean anything. Means that these friends have even more power, but it doesn't mean that you have less. Right? Well, time spent socializing is not what determines whether we are extrovert or introverted. Extroverts gain energy from socializing, introverts spend energy socializing. I gain energy doing both, and I lose energy doing neither. That's the way I at least identify. Because I gain energy when I spend time with myself, and I gain energy when I spend time with other people. I feel in different ways. I feel like spending time with people is almost like getting hot wired, right? Like having the full breath of the amps flowing through your being. And spending time alone is like a trickle charge. Like I am at peace. I am calm. I am calm. I am here. I am. I am. I am. And I find the better I get at enjoying time spent alone, the more I want to, which I feel is alluring in itself. And I don't know if that's necessarily right. So I feel I make it a priority to also socialize, to spend time outside of that, fractal. It's like the energy of being alone is a lot more stable, right? It's like a frequency. Where the energy of socializing, every single other person that socializes with you makes a song of their own. William James Bond's game. Me, ma, mu, me, right? And it changes the rhythm of the way you experience, but it also adds a lot more frequent energy, right? Like every single person is an infinity of their own. And not only do you get to feel the things they say, but you also get to consider where it's coming from. So I feel it's just about getting good at it, right? Learning how to be a part of the universe, the one song that we're all a part of, right? Singing along. Exactly, Richard. I feel drained if I'm around too many people. Yeah, me too, though. Like too many people, especially, right? If there's like a lot of people that I don't know, that shit like even causes my body aches. Like my back starts killing me. So maybe I am an introvert, actually, technically. Richard, I understand the analysis of social interaction and comfortability, but how does energy come into play when we talk about general living? I just don't get why we need all of these labels. How about Joe? How about that, dude? Like that description I just gave you. Like I like how that happens sometimes. That that's the way I see it, right? Like people saying words at you. Like if I talk to you like this, Joe. Hey, Joe. How are you doing, Joe? Oh, nice. That's good. That contains within it a certain type of energy, right? And that is like an extreme case of, how people can show up in the world. But the energy that someone addresses you with, addresses their life with, is relevant to the experience that is had when that happens. Like we're very intuitive human beings. We pick up on things. I work the fields, all seasons so my family can survive. I feel that in my soul of souls. Yes, good works. Productive results from effort and determination. These are good work. Good work in my mind is work done to serve the greater whole, right? Like we're part of the whole. And there's a part of the whole that is trying to uplift, trying to make it greater. And if you work towards that goal, you will have a good life. Even if you don't get to experience what you consider financial wealth, if you work every day towards the betterment of society, of your family, of yourself, of the lives of your pets, of the lives of your community, you will live a good life default, right? Because that is a good thing to do. That is, and it's good for you. Like it feels good, even. Like you can make it selfish if you want to. It's still going to be good for you. Oh, that's amazing. That I want that. I have a son and I can't stand buying distractions or things I don't believe in. And your kid probably thinks you're evil, for not wanting to buy you things that he wants or believes he needs. Push your truth and remove. That does not serve you. Yeah. I ranked in the top number 1% of all Call of Duty Mobile, just using it to help focus my concentration when I get flustered. Channeling it in a healthy way, using that anger, that rage in a way that is necessarily constructive, but at least not destructive, right? The fact that we can channel ourselves into a different world. I'm proud of you, Duck Dad. Thank you for channeling that experience. Joe, says Dan, easiest way to think of it is acknowledging we all need alone time. An extrovert can spend more time being social than an introvert before needing some alone time to recharge. If you will. If you will. I guess. Yeah, exactly. Duck, that doesn't surprise me, dude. We need downtime. Richard, that makes a lot of sense. I feel that. Love you, Brother Bear. Thank you for wanting to understand. Makes me happy to see. Hey, again, Untitled, seeing your name again, sending you love, friend. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face, Mike Tyson. Joe, ironically sing that at least we chickadee check yourself before you wreck yourself. Love is true all the time, dude. Life can be flabbergasm. Life can be a flabbergasm. I love that. A flabbergasm. That's going in my list of words that I'll use one day. Ah, that is totally flabbergasm. What? What did you just say? You didn't hear anything? What do you think I said? you, I, we both know what you said. What does that mean? Where does it come from? I can explain. I can explain. I have 3 surgeries coming up on April 18th, and all of them shall go well. They found a mass in my uterus, which have multiple signs of being cancer, as well as endometriosis. I've been trying to not spiral and be present. It's hard. We live in a world where we have advanced medical care, where we found something inside of a friend of ours' body, something unseeable with our eyes, but through medical help was able to discover it. Now we're going to get help for Maxine, She's going to get medical professionals taking care of her to try and save her life, right? That is what their objective is going to be. And none of us like failing. So it's impossible for them to. Love is true. Love to Maxine. Thank you for allowing us to know about this and share love with you, my dear friend. Yo, holy shit, flabbergasm. That's a good one. So cursed. I love it. I did not know that chilies are berries. How about that? Oh, cool. This too shall pass. True potential. Sending you love. Hello. Nice having you here. It's nice seeing you in the live chat. I saw you on one of the comments, friend. It's nice having you. Laughing Tiger, you are strong. We are here. My wife's entire family has ovarian cancer in the family. We're always on guard. Be calm and be present. Love is true. Thank you, Dr. These days, it feels like I can't really speak or be in my body from dissociation, from being overwhelmed. The thought of mortality being closer really changes your perspective on what matters. I'm not sure of the time, but it's the 18th of April, Joy. Okay. I'm seeing like a little parachute, like a round one. And connected to the strings is a person in a seat. And he has like a little motor that pushes air so he can direction himself or herself. And just flying through this almost like cartoonish world with clouds passing by. Sending even more love, Maxine. You got this, friend. Beansy, well, you'll be well. I know. Please alert us when your surgery come up so we can pray and send healing vibes. We will. On the day, we'll think about her as well. Can't even ask my blood relatives about family health history because they're all separated from dysfunction and being toxic and abusive. So it's a guessing game. You know this much at least, Maxine, and we're trying to go through the process of getting you out. You're going to be fine, dear friend. I know it's easy enough for me to say, but what's the alternative to believe in? Right? Living into the assumed reality that you are going to be fine. Like there's no other option, right? At least for these moments leading up to your surgery, that gets to be our reality. And even if we're wrong, at least we got to live believing that we're right, right? Believing in the possibility of mortality. And even thinking of that as a bad thing, right? I feel like the wisdom you already shared about being able to reprioritize what's really important in your life. You're doing well, dear friend. You are strong, and this too shall pass. In fact, it'll probably get better. Most of these technologies that we've allowed into our lives these days have allowed us a lot of freedom to one capacity, but also restrictions and limitations in others. And the way I think about it is almost from like a comical perspective. The reality of being able to, with medicine, with technology, heal ourselves, right? Whatever way that's going to be, stem cells, coding our genetic code, demethylization of our genomes, you know, taking away senescent cells, autophagy of the dead ones, frequencies that rejuvenate our, organs. However, however, it is going to, in certain ways, take away your freedom to suffer, right? That you are, in a weird way, free to suffer things as well. And you're going to lose those freedoms if you have medicine that can heal you of those things. And in a weird way, I think of it in the context of today's stream, these layers of separation that we tell ourselves stories about, that get so in our face, so physical, right? Like I'm thinking about our beloved friend Maxine. knowing, with a doctor's diagnosis that there is something in you that needs to be surgically removed, that is so in your face. How can you look past it, right? It feels like it's the end of this world, but it's not you. You're not that cancer. You didn't even know about it until you got the medical care. You probably had some discomfort that allowed you to go and check it out, but it's not you, and you know it. And now, because it's not you, we have medical professionals that want to help you get it out of you, trying to melt that away as a layer that separates you from the reality of your being in this moment, suffering the future. Yet we are so powerful that we can suffer the future. Epigenetics is all I'm thinking about, right? Yoga. I'm pretty sure the batch flower remedies probably have some epigenetic stuff in them as well. The ability to change your genetic expression with your mentality, with mind, actual mind, to my family. So much love is being sent. We love you, Maxine. We only shall believe in the fractal of you healing. Laughing Tiger, that is my fractal every single morning. I'm like, we can just stop dooming for a few minutes and see what actually is going on, please. Melt, please. Sir voice. I'm like, can we stop dooming for a few minutes and see what's actually going on, please? Is that my sir voice? Free and clear on the backside of the surgery. Just trust in the process. I yelled in prayer for the first time a few days back. I broke down asking why and really trying to see what the point of all of this is. I don't understand anymore. Experience. Dear Maxine, to know. Love is not supposed to be all, sunshine and rainbows. Love shows you how much you can endure. Love is the ability for multiplicity and unity to exist at the same time. Love is your awareness of being. And the fact that you can endure something so painful is proof of your love, is proof of love. Love is true in that case. The fact that you'll get past this is proof of love. The fact that you'll have an experience is proof of love. You were strong enough, dear Maxine. If anybody is, you'll see this through. If anything, I'd like to speak, ask you friends to pray for me. The way I think about prayer these days is imagining the reality we want to see, right? Instead of giving any energy to the reality that we believe in right now, right? The fact, and this is me speaking very liberally, the fact that there is a thing, right, that needs to be removed. We don't give any attention to that. What we give attention to is the reality that we want to see for Maxine, right? Her going through this process, still, being mindful enough to go and have medical help, but going through this process and us seeing her after this whole process, Maxine with a smile on her face, happy that she actually had, medical professionals take care of her, happy that she went through this process, feeling better than ever, right? Maybe this thing in her was like causing her unnecessary tension, inflammation, distress in her body that might have been a little bit unnoticed, but not completely. Now completely free, she gets to live this life of, increased happiness, right? And if we can see that in our minds, our prayer is set. Love is true. I'm always praying for you. Thank you, Joe. Thank you so much, friend. Doug, love is true. Richard, Maxine, I'm sending you calm, strong, and peaceful vibes. Your desire to remain present is admirable and will serve you. This is true. Thank you for sending love as well. Connor is here, sending you love, dude. How are you feeling, Brother Bear? Better just thinking a lot about the thoughts I allow in my mushy brain. There's a lot to think about, dude. Try and think the nice ones. She's okay, just a little beat up. She's gonna be just fine, and we all know it. All of us will be. All of us will be. These stories of separation are convincing. Even dying is not something dangerous, right? I know that one is especially hard to swallow. What do you mean dying isn't dangerous, Mel? I'm saying getting hit by a car, that's dangerous. I'm sorry to make it so visceral. Getting stabbed, that's pretty dangerous. But dying, right? When you've lived your life, you've bled out after getting stabbed. I'm so sorry. That act of dying isn't dangerous. It isn't dangerous. And that is not an encouragement. It is a reminder. All of us will die eventually. And we're not heading towards something that is dangerous, right? There shouldn't be fear inherent in our experience of thinking about our death one day. It's not dangerous. It is an inevitability. It's a truth, right? And I believe it is a truth of love that we get to return to our source, that this life is an experience that we're here to have. Your experience is something that you get to have, right? You have this experience right now. This is yours, your experience. Nobody can take it from you. I can be like, here, we'll take your experience from you. No, it's the one thing that nobody can ever take away from you. Sure, you can allow this experiencer to go and experience different things. You can almost like open your consciousness to let another's experience flow through it, like watching a movie, for example, or a show or a YouTube video, right? You can share an experience with another or with a storyteller, characters, but it's still your experience. And the way you experience that story is going to be unique to you. That part of you that experiences is what you are. Not the body, not the stories, not the mind, not the traumas, not the ecstatic joys, even. The one that experiences all of these feelings. The one that is stable, actually stable. Because it is, right? It just is, always. The continuity of waking up as yourself every day boggles my mind. Love to you. Thank you again for the love. The junk is old magic, old understanding of basic remedy. Turkey tail will release you. I hate this blue wrench. Lol. Yeah, dude, get blue wrench though. You ask for it though. That's what happens. Yeah, you manifest, you suffer the consequences. I'm sorry. That's maybe a little bit too direct. Oh, holy shit, Mel. You stole my experience. Oh, here I have it. Yeah. Got Connor's experience here in my life. Connor is just like a paralytic person, just like laying there, unexperiencing right now. Connor, here you go. Have your experience back. Captain Hook was a trippy guy, blue wrench. Death is the only true adventure. Captain Hook, damn. I feel it has come to be the time. The time for a car to be pulled. For the fractal to be seen. For sacred geometry to be experienced. You know what card you want to see? No. I want to see something new. I want to see something I haven't seen in a while. Hook is one of my favorite movies. Maybe watch it again. Maybe watch it again. How about that, Joey V? Something to give you some pep in your step. Your favorite movie. Oh damn! How much? This is gonna be in your face a little bit, in all of our faces. I feel we haven't pulled this one either ever or in a very long time. Yeah, once. I think we pulled it once before. Purple. Okay, we have a purple. We'll see. We'll see if there's any purple in there. We have a green and gray. No greens and gray in this one specifically. Card time. James Hook was a terrible. Wasn't a terrible man. He was ferocious in his journey, though. I pulled it upside down. Damn. Thanks, Mel. No, I can experience again. Cha-ching! Leaves. Oracle, maybe. Plumes. We pulled purification meditation. Doesn't that look like Maxine? Doesn't that I might be tripping a little bit because of the amount of energy we've shared, but that feels like Maxine in a purification meditation. That is some magic. Okay. That's a good card. There we go. That's nice. Yes, sicketh. Pure love. Pure love. Golden spiral reflection fractal. Exactly. You saw it as well. That's basically the thing they echo on, is the fact that golden spirals reversed and then placed against one another make hearts. Beautifully so. 27. Purification and forgiveness. Even forgiveness of yourself, Maxine. Right? Like a part of us can do that. Like there's this feeling of guilt sometimes, this feeling of self-identification with the body being in pain. Like my foot and my wrist hurting. For some reason, I can use that as ammunition to tell myself that I'm not taking good enough care of myself, and that's why I'm hurting, and that's why these things are happening, and I need to be even better, do even better. Right? And forgiving myself, being like, oh wait, oh, you're fine. Purifying. The reversed meaning we'll read first, because that's what we pull technically first, goes self-doubt and criticism are clouding your vision. Make use of this meditation to regain your radiant center. The geometry of the golden spiral hearts encourages you to meditate and purify your consciousness. These hearts embrace the energy of love, both within the core being of the figure and expanding beyond into radiant universal love. We talk, yeah, this is the card we needed for today. She sits in meditation, willing to forgive herself and all beings, ready to purify her intentions to live a life of compassion and integrity. Flames consume and burn away. Flames consume and melt away all that does not serve the most loving, kind, and compassionate true self. The blue flame is that which burns away ego. This card encourages you to purify your thoughts and look to your heart for guidance and support. Old paradigm thinking and prejudice reactions have a way of leading to feelings of guilt, gloom, and confusion. Is there an obstacle to your spiritual growth that has caused you concern of late? Is self-criticism impeding your path to your true essence? Forgive yourself and see all notions of unworthiness and shame being burned away in this transformative fire of purification. Forgive your loved ones. Forgive your loved ones. Forgive your loved ones, neighbors, politicians, and all beings for things they have done or said that do not benefit the greater good. Holy, holy, holy. Let the blue flames burn away ego and reveal self-esteem and self-respect. Let the blue flames burn away ego and reveal self-esteem and self-respect. The universe supports your growth and Purification. Like I feel like that might have been the most psychedelic one yet, right? How did that keep happening? Like it feels almost too direct for it just to be coincidence. I know nothing is coincidence, right? But like how many times did we have to do this to have this experience so perfectly synchronized? Trips me out. Wasn't a terrible man. Love is true. Golden spirals. Think Captain Hook, like Captain Ahab, and Peter Pan was his white whale. That's the super rare purification card. I trade you my shiny Pikachu. No, I'm okay, dude. I'm gonna keep my purification magics. Place it on my forehead and stuff. I'm gonna go gadget purify myself. I'm sorry. I don't mean to offend sacred geometry. I'm I'm playing a little bit. Pikachu is whack. You can keep that junk, Josh. I'm also wait for it. Oh, dude. Is that tree living behind you? Resilience itself. It does. It lives. It lives. It's actually growing anew. Like, look at those. Those are like coming out from the bottom branch. And that one is like coming out straight from the roots. It lives. It wants to live. And like I wanted to chop it up with a chainsaw in small little pieces. I'm gonna do a swappity swappy instead of trying with my fingers. Look at the dogger. Oh, puppy. Thank you. Yes, this is content. Yeah, gang gang. Oh, she melts my heart every day. Trying not to bawl my eyes out. Thank you for the card, Estian. Thank you, friends, for listening and caring. Love you all. We love you, Maxine. The universe does too. Literally, being that confronted by the universe is seeing you. Look at that. The universe knows. Peppy is an explorer. Lucy is on Hulu. I'm watching Lucy before I go full Lucy. I need to watch Lucy again so I can know what being full Lucy. I mean, I don't really want to melt into a supercomputer and take over the world or whatever. That doesn't sound like a vibe to me. Dude said gang gang. You go. I hope saying gang gang isn't something that's offensive. I hope not. It might be. I never mean to offend. I only mean to synchronize. Tune into a fractal. Love that card. Love you, Westrock. Thank you, friends, for being there with me. For listening, right? For absorbing that into your fractal. The Pippi adventures. She's a sweet. She loves the tree as well. The cats also love the sideways tree. Oh, look at that. Is that the moon? Yeah, isn't that gorgeous? Little. I'm so offended right now. Yeah. I kind of want to say sorry, but also I really don't want to say sorry. Like I really don't want to say. Like everything in me is get mad about. Welcome to the fall. Thank you, friends, for folding into this fractal with me today. Love is true. Go and love yourself. Go and forgive yourself. Yes, yes. Maybe forgiving ourselves is one of the best ways to melt away the layers of separation. Right? Like layers, especially. And think about this like this, right? Like one of the things that I would like for you to realize with melting away the layers of ego is the remembrance of the God essence that is your awareness of being, right? That awareness of being is what we consider God, permeating everything at all times, right? But it's very hard to believe that when you have done things back again, when you have done things that communicate the opposite of your awareness or of that awareness. And by forgiving ourselves of having those opposite perspectives, we get closer to being free within our awareness of being alone. Slowly but surely, melting away layers, knowing there's always going to be more layers to melt and more melting underneath the layers. It's never ending, so we might as well strap in. I am literally livid. My gang. With the glasses. I am so livid. I know I haven't been in the streams like I used to. I was so scared of telling you all and bumming you all out. I have so many things that keep happening to me, and I'm starting to feel like I can't pick myself up. I want you all to know how highly I hold you all in my heart. We opened this space specifically for that, Maxine, right? For this fractal of actually showing up for one another and trying to uplift one another. It's not easy living this life alone. So please don't make yourself do that. Even if it's just for a moment, right? Even if it's just tuning in and then having a few friends reach out to you and say hi. Even if I'm not at your comment yet, by the time that you've left, you had those friends say hi to you, people that know that you exist, sending you love, excited to see you. And we always are, dear friends. Please do reach out to the friends that join the space, right? I want you to do your part and be like, love, 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 love. I mean, I always mean to that. I know, Joy V. You're really like poking, and I mean, like, let's see what happens if I poke this. Ah, why did you do that? Because I can. because just because you can doesn't mean you always have to. You should come as much as you feel you can, Beansy. The positive energy will help you. Always when you feel you can. Never, feeling pressured to. There's no you have to happening here. If you feel there's a part of you that needs a little bit of pick me up, we'll be here for you. Showing up every day, right? Every day as an opportunity for serendipity. Show up in a moment, get love. Show up for love, get love. Like I don't know if you heard it, Maxine, but in today's journal entry, I wrote, everybody that shows up for love will receive love. Everybody that doesn't will be welcomed back in love. And that felt like such a powerful fractal, especially since, in a weird way, I feel like I'm in this cosmic battle with Christian theology. And that God isn't okay with you leaving or not being in its presence. It's like, what? You didn't show up for one day? Yeah, you get to burn hell forever now. Never come back here. Suffer forever. So we have to try and show the world that that is a lie. That way of thinking is old timey. Actual God, if God loves us as much as we would like to believe to, because here we are, right? Your birth, your existence in this world is proof of the source, the universe, is God, like God's whatever love of you. So yeah, love is true. Thank you, friends, for joining me. Thank you, Maxine, for allowing us to send you some lovin's. You'll never be sent away, friend. Please never feel scared to share your deepest feelings. Y'all, with my heart, many more of us have faced our mortality than you think. We love you and we understand. I get ashamed after getting offended, so I try to stay love. Same, Luke. Same. It's a process. It's okay to get angry, but learn how to channel it, right? And if you don't know how to channel it, learn how to be quiet when you feel it. I feel that helps, right? Allowing yourself just a moment of quiet if you're angry, so you don't speak from the peak of the rage. You have to let the rage simmer a little bit, find some equilibrium, and then let some of the pressure out. Otherwise, it just goes explosions. Laughing Tiger, never feel like you will bum us out. Exactly. When one of us is successful, we all reach that success. When one of us are hurting, we all rally around to help them. The way I think of it is like carrying the burden together, right? In a literal way. All of us feeling together, knowing that there are other people that are feeling with you, that you're not alone in these feelings. Arise, tide lifts all boats. You cannot be lifted if you ain't here, Beans. Love is true. Always, Joe. Being here shows how to be strong. In the face of adversity, love, love. Love is true. Love is true. Thank you for joining us. I'm in a cosmic battle with Christian theology. I'm not joking. My dad is like still pretty strong on his beliefs. Like he's really persistent. But at least we're maybe I've just gotten better at not caring. I feel like I've gotten more sure, which it's probably a bad thing. Probably a bad thing. I probably shouldn't be so sure of myself, but because of the surety I have that love is true, I feel less stressed by having these conversations. I'm like, I get what you're saying. I hear you. I know people have believed it for a long time. And I hear you. Doesn't matter to me. I don't care. I get to have an experience in this moment. And within this experience I'm having, I'm choosing to believe love is true. Right? So if I get to experience something, love is true. God wouldn't allow me to experience if love wasn't true. And when I die, love continues to be true. God isn't going to suddenly stop loving me just because I died, right? Just as He doesn't stop loving me just because I'm living. Love is true, and nothing can interrupt that train of thought for me. You can't take it. You cannot. I'm experiencing it right now. Look at me experiencing love. Love. I love, 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 love. Shamush, shamush, shamush. It's a little pepper. Shamush, 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 shamush. Thank you, friends. Thank you for spending some time with me. I enjoyed having some time with you. My friends, mom's church. Wait a second. The ebbs and flows of the tidal pools will generate nourishment in a time when inconsistencies seem to be the norm. Rely upon Gaia. She will show you the rhythm. Joe. Yes, you do. Yeah. Yeah. My friends, mom, church, Coles. If she misses a Sunday, I find that so creepy for a reason. I find it kind of wholesome. I find it kind of wholesome. Like if it's a judgmental, hey, why weren't you at church type of call, then I'd be a little bit creeped out as well. But if it's a, hey, we noticed your absence. How are you doing? That I kind of find nice. You know, if that is what you need. Some people really like to be validated over and over again. But nothing can validate your existence quite as much as you existing. Right? Here you are. Your existence is as validated as that kitty's. Look at her. She's not asking me to validate her. She just is. Isn't that right, kitty? Is it meow? Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. You want to say meow to the friends? Meow meow. Is it meow? Is it meow? Is it meow? Only giving us purrs. I'll take what I get. Hey, Benedict is new here. It's nice having you here too, friend. Thank you for choosing to be new in this moment with us. Welcome to you now. Christians are pretty close. They just make rules when we didn't need them. I feel some of the rules we probably did need at some point, right? Like, yeah, maybe stop stealing from people. Maybe, don't murder one another. Sure, that helped. That probably did help, to get people at least somewhat aligned with an understanding of morality. But we're there. Our priorities have shifted. We have new problems to try and solve. Things change, and we have to change with them or be kind of like held back by our own belief of limitation. Christian, ask yourself how the hell did Duck Dad lose not one but two giant replacement wheels for his wheelbarrow? Guessing I'm carrying plants by hand. Oh, dude. Oh, Christianity would be great if it wasn't for all the Christianity. For me, Christianity would be great if it wasn't for all of the slavery, And like there's like whole chapters in the Bible about how not only is it okay to own slaves, but it's also okay for you to give ownership, to let your children inherit ownership of the people you own like property. specifically stated like that. Like, you own slaves like property. And I'm like, Dad, you do realize that you believe that this book is like the actual word of God, right? Yeah. Like, and then these things is in this book. And then he reasons. He reasons that, yeah, but back in the day, the word slaves was like misinterpreted, because what slave actually meant is that you owed a bunch of money, and then you could like work for this person to pay off that money. And instead of, the way that it is right now, where they just lock you up if you don't pay your taxes or the money that you owe. And I'm like, Dad, no, dude. Like, a book that states, at any point that it's okay to own people like property, it doesn't fit into my morality. It doesn't vibe, right? Like, the gears kind of like as soon as I see stuff like that. And I have to assume at the same time that this is the actual word of God that I'm reading right now. Unless we have to assume that all humans can be seen as extensions of God, and that humans, being sometimes flawed, some of us have high morals, but some of us can still be flawed in our thinking, right? Fear of homosexuality, having like whole parts in the Bible recommending that we stone people to death if they, follow a certain sexuality. That is not something I can vibe with. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I would love to. Like, it makes sense that all of you are thinking about it at the same time, and this community, and I get to be in the in group. But I'm sorry. I tried. I really did. But it's not sitting well with my mind. I don't feel right about it. When I can't see past my own problems in life, this group always reminds me that I'm not alone, which is invaluable. As you are, Brother Bear. You are that which is invaluable in this whole equation. Thank you for finding yourself in these moments, Dan. You've been here for a lot of it, Brother Bear. Runtime! And we're gonna keep going. I can't believe my name on Reddit when I first found the space was truth is light. Love is true. Love is light. Truth is light. Light is love. Yes, dude. I'm not surprised either. I think it's like the amount of synchronicity for us friends to have found one another this early in this experience is absurd. It's like so inevitable, it's almost impossible. And yet, here we are having this moment. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Can't believe the shenanigans, capybara. I have vaccine, found them. Melt, sofa, love you, friend. When I moved into my first apartment, my mother gave me the framed Bible quote, and about hope and a toolkit. I love them both. Yeah, like, I'm not saying that there's nothing of value in the Bible, right? In the same way that people have written words in other books that I felt were so true that I had to read them again, that I had to highlight them, right? Because they felt like fundamental truths from the mouth of God. Doesn't mean I have to now completely build my entire, worldview and self-identity around this belief system. It just means that I'm the one that has that wisdom, right? Like, you don't understand something, you can't see something having any value if you don't have a personal experience with that thing you find value in, right? Like, you're kind of the precursor for the experience to be had. I asked my dad this question today, like, if the story is true or false, right? No matter what the story is, like, let's say, religion A, like, for instance, I'm more likely to believe in Buddhism as a religion than I am in Christianity these days, just because of the fundamental understanding of trying to reach enlightenment as an individual and taking it upon yourself to become better instead of expecting to be saved, right? Like, I can get closer behind that. So even if that religion is the right one, no religion can be interpreted, no story can be interpreted, true or false, without awareness. So then we have to ask ourselves, which is first, right? Is there this story that the awareness can experience about where it comes from? Or is there awareness telling itself stories, right? Which version of you are you actually? Are you all of your stories? Or are you the one that's experiencing them? Okay, I think we beat that point into the ground today. We made it over and over and over again, burning it into our neurons. melting it into our neurons. Excuse me. Thank you, friends, for joining me for this. I appreciate you. Sofa, love to you again. But love is a sin. Yeah, gonna get stoned, dude. Gonna have to get stoned before you do. Oh goodness, that's even worse. Hey, Wrestling Thompson. I miss Arpan too, bro. Same. A lot. Arpan still has a safe space in my heart. It will never leave. Arpan brought us together as friends. Sending you love, Wrestle Thompson. I'm happy that you knew about it as well, friend. It'll be a fractal nobody can take away from us, even though they took it away from us. It's an interpretation of the channeled word from the highest thought a human vessel. So take what resonates. I agree, Luke. I agree, and you have to resonate with it, and take the parts that you resonate with. Right, like it should be an intrinsic understanding of your reality through a moment, capsulized by some sort of intrinsic wisdom. I believe that wisdom is like literally coded into your DNA in large part, but that's a 30-minute topic for another day. We can gain great value almost out of any book of knowledge. Yep, take what you can from it and release the headache. Like at least the identification where people believe, the books you read become you, right? Like the whole fractal of reading books and then displaying them on a bookcase, so that everybody can see what books you read. And then, being like, yeah, this is who I am. Look at me. This is me. No, it's not. Your awareness of being has experienced those books, but that is not you. That is very much not you. Rhythmic and constant gratitude is the key to happiness, especially the gratitude part, dude. Like that came to me as a fractal during that psychedelic festival we went to in November last year, where it was like all God wants, consciousness wants, is gratitude for this moment. And all it gets for some reason is disappointment, anger, fear, or separation. Right? And I'm not saying like that is like the way it is, but I was making like an extreme kind of fractal of like which part do you want to be? Do you want to be awareness in gratitude, or do you want to be people in fear? And it's a hard one because they can come up things very convincing, making us fearful sometimes. Yeah. The thing about religion, any religion, is that humans have been involved, and it's so messed up a little. Yeah, exactly. The real question is the moon made of spare ribs? Probably not. The moon is probably not made of spare ribs. But what do I know? What do I know? Glowing orb in the sky, dude. Love you, beloved moon. Oh, I need to go to the bathroom, but I don't want to leave without reading the comments. Oh no, I'm no friend. The Bible shit says if you have a slave, be a good slave. Yeah, but then there are some nuggets of good, because even a broken clock is right twice a day. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like there is some fucked up shit in the Bible. The killing of kids and wives. It's like, yeah, go and kill them, and also kill the women and the children. Like, kill everybody. Nobody gets to live. Children. Why kill children? What the fuck? Oh, and then this is God saying it, right? That just sounds like justification. It's like, well, we killed everybody, and it's like, well, just write that God said you were supposed to do that. That like gives us some some breathing room. Oh goodness, the real question. Thank you for everything, my peeps. Love you, Connor. You have all shown me what true love is, and I hope I have given you half the love I have received. We will continue giving the love for the bear. It will continue. Love you all. Dang, no, I want ribs. Same intellectual roller coaster, as it always is. I appreciate you, friends, taking these moments with me, and I'll see you again soon. One cycle of our planet around its own axis, and we will be here again. Love you, everyone. Cheers, cheers.